Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here. I am in my Beehive studio this morning. Today's a bit of a crazy day. Actually, it's kind of going to be a crazy week. When is it not a crazy week anymore? But today it's kind of crazy. A number of things going on. Of course, today is Casing Tuesday, where we're going to take a card from the catalog and give it a makeover. The other thing behind me right now, my room's like in chaos. You probably can't see it. Maybe I can tip it down a little bit. Behind me here, I'm getting ready for my online BOGO sale that's starting tomorrow. And that makes things a little crazy because I am bringing stuff up from storage and I'm getting it all ready to be posted on my blog tomorrow for my big BOGO sale. So I've got that going on. And today is registration for On Stage. So if you are a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and maybe you're not a demonstrator, maybe you are a customer, you love Stampin' Up! Products, well, demonstrators get a chance to go to Orlando in November to go for, it's like a conference, and we get together, we do stamping, there's presentations, there's celebrations of achievements, there are prizes, we get a cute convention bag, and that is happening today, the registration. And the crazy part about it is these last few On Stages have sold out really quickly, and so everyone's like really tense, and we don't know how quickly this one is going to sell out. I think they have like maybe 8,000 spots for Orlando, but given the fact that the past few On Stage locals have, some of them have sold out really quickly, we're all like a little tense and we're all like, we need to get on there and kind of stressed out. And that is going to happen in less than an hour. I get to register, and then because of my title, and then an hour after that, everyone that is a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator can register. And I think we're all kind of about that today. But before I get to register and before I can keep working on getting things ready for my BOGO sale, we have Casing Tuesday. And so I want to talk a little bit about today's card. Now, not all cards that we case are easy. We have, there's 10 of us that blog together, and we each pick cards. And so some of them are, you know, a little bit outside my comfort zone. Some of them are a little bit harder to case, and some of them are just easy. Today's card, I found it difficult, but here's the thing. Last night I made a card and I didn't like it. And it was getting late, and I was like, you know what? I just need to kind of give it a rest. So last night before I went to bed, I'm like, you know what? You were just overthinking this card, and you just need to kind of pare it down and make it easy. So this morning I got up, got my husband and son out the door, and then I went to work on this card, and I did keep it really easy. And I think that if you struggle with the design, if you're going to do this card, I think you should also maybe think about keeping it easier or paring it down and not making it something complicated. So that's my advice to you if you're going to try this card. So if you're new to me and you're like, what the heck is she talking about? Try a card? What is she talking about? Well, it's Casing Tuesday, and we have a Facebook group for that, and you can share on the Facebook group just like our bloggers can share. And we have a thread that we start just for this particular challenge, and usually people complete the challenge within the first week. The thread has the most activity the first week. You're welcome to go back and do the old challenges, but the current challenge is the one that everyone's kind of working on. And we usually, during the week, people post their cards. And so we'd love to see you post your card on there. So that's why I'm talking about how you could do this challenge card and make it a little easier for yourself. So with that being said, why don't I turn the camera around and show you what I did with this card. Let me do that. All right, okay, there's my view this morning. I don't know if you guys noticed, but this morning the landscapers gave my bushes out front a little bit of a trim job, right kind of in the center of the camera, you can see. So now we'll be able to see a little bit better. They were out there and they were chopping things down really low, and I'm like running out there in my rubber boots, and I'm like, please not so low. We are renting this house, so like I don't have complete and utter say what happened, so you know, but I'm sure that we don't want the vegetation all the way down to the ground, because that's what holds in the riverbank and everything like that. So I just said, like, just give it a trim job just above the fence line, and I think it looks nice. Anyway, I'm blabbing a lot this morning. Oh, okay, let me see if this is okay. There we go. Wow, for a minute I thought I lost the rotation there. Okay, so today's card is this little square card right here. Why did I find this so hard? Well, it's, first of all, a lot of our cards are not square. I don't mind doing square cards, but the problem with this card is like this stamped image, which comes from this stamp set right here. It's this star heart shape. It was probably embossed on the back of here, and you know, it's just not, it's an easy card, but yet it's hard because it's easy. So what I decided to do with it was I turned it into a regular rectangular card, and I just let the designer series paper do all of the work. I didn't add any additional images, and I just chose really pretty, this is the Garden Impressions designer series paper, and then I just took from the Abstract Impressions stamp set, I took the thank you here. There's some other nice greetings in here too, if you don't like the thank you. This is a really pretty set that I think goes well with this paper. And then I just stamped the thank you on a little rectangle and popped it up on dimensionals, and then tied some twine around it. I'm going to show you how to make another version using the same designer series paper. So I did one with this paper that has the roses on it, and then I did one with the blue and yellow paper, and look how nice it looks, and kind of in different colors. So we'll do another color this morning, because I thought, you know, that would be kind of boring if I did the same thing, especially on such an easy card. So welcome to everyone that's joined me. Thank you so much for being here this morning. So to start off, you're going to need a card base. I like to do a tent fold, like a tall tent fold, so I can wrap my twine around it and tie it nicely. So this one is 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches, and I've scored it in half at the 5.5 inch mark. Then I took a piece of the Garden Impressions paper. Now I cut this to maybe what you might think is a little bit of an odd measurement. I wanted it a little tighter to the margins here. So this is actually 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inches. So normally I would do 4 by 5 1/4, but I made it just a little bit bigger. I'm going to just use some snail adhesive for the back of this, because it's just very light, and I'm going to add this to the front. This paper, the cardstock is soft seafoam. It's a really pretty light green. It's a very nice neutral backdrop. It's also in the paper. So it's, you notice how this blends really nicely with the card base. How do you find out what colors are in the paper? Well, when you get your package, this package has been like really used and loved. I've only got a few sheets of it left. But here it says the name of the paper, and then down below it, it lists all the colors in the paper. So this is a really good guide to you picking out card bases, picking out complementary colors. If you can't figure out what it is, look on the paper pack. Stampin' Up! Has been doing this for a while now, putting the colors in the paper. It's a very handy thing to have. So then what we need to do is stamp a greeting. This piece right here is 2.5 inches by 1 inch. I'm going to use a color that out of the paper, and right now I think Shaded Spruce will be just the perfect complement to it. So let me open that up. I've got my thank you here. Ink that up. And I'm just gonna try and center it. There. And see, this card is so easy. And okay, so what twine would Brenda use on this paper? This one is the silver with petal pink twine, and you're going, that doesn't really match. Well, you know, I looked at the white twine here. I'll just show you. The white and silver twine was just like a little bit too white on here. You might not be able to see it on the camera, but it just looked a little too white. So I made this card first, and of course on this card it makes a lot of sense to have this twine. Then I was looking for a color for this card, and you know what? This actually was the best choice for this card as well. So I just kind of went with it. And even though, well, this one has maybe a little bit of the coral color in it, like a corally color in it. So this actually goes quite well. So sometimes when there's just a hint of color, you can kind of make it work. This way it makes it really easy. There's very limited supplies on these cards. So let me just cut a length of the twine, and I'm going to tie this around. Now I kind of tied my bow from this direction this time, so let me just kind of turn the card around. And I just want to take my little locking tweezers. These are tweezers that you can get at a craft store in the beading section. They just lock on to when you're tying your ribbon and your bows. You can just lock down that knot, and then you can just tie your bow and not have to do heroic efforts with your fingers to try and get it to look good, because it's just really easy. So let me just do that, and then I can just tighten it up just a little bit more, and then just arrange my bow, make it the right size. Okay, and then we just need to add the little thank you. I mean, this has got to be the most easy card. If you want to make sure they're all at the same height for the ribbon, you can just bring in one of the cards you've already done. You know, if you're going to photograph them as a grouping or give them as a set, you know, you might want them all the same height, so you can just kind of measure that on there. What have I done with my mini dimensionals? Oh my gosh. Where have they gone? I lost, oh, in the garbage again. Last night, I'm looking for my mini dimensionals, and why do they always end up in the garbage? I must have gremlins. Do you guys have gremlins in your stamp room? They're the worst things. They take your stuff and they hide it. It's just awful. I don't know. I need a gremlin exterminator. Maybe like, maybe if I sprinkle some glitter around, maybe that will help, right? So let me just press down on these little mini dimensionals, because then it makes the backing a little easier to pick off. Just get these off. The reason I chose mini dimensionals is so that there's a little bit of a space so I can come right over top of my twine. So the twine just kind of runs underneath that. Let me move my little garbage out of the way. All right, so then I just kind of come in maybe 1/4 of an inch from the side, make sure it looks level, and then you just will want to trim off your baker's twine ends. And there's the card. Isn't that pretty? I mean, I did not work hard for this card at all, right? And look, and look. Like, isn't that a pretty card set? I don't know. Sometimes it just makes me happy to do something simple. So I guess I'll show you the card I made last night that I didn't like, just because I want to show you sometimes it doesn't always come naturally or easy to me either. So I just kind of want to you know, show you like where my thought process was. So the original card was this card, right? So I actually took the paper, because I have this Twinkle Twinkle Designer Series paper, and it's beautiful paper, and I thought, hey, I can do something with that. So I took the, let me see what stamp set this is. It was Beautiful You stamp set, And I embossed the girl from Beautiful You in Grapefruit Grove, and then I did the greeting down here like that, but I didn't like it. She looked too peachy to me, and I don't know, like the embossing from the this girl right here, the way it was embossed, it's kind of like not like a really clear image. So, you know, I just didn't like this card, so that's why I was like, I'm not putting that on my blog. So I just decided that I would redo, and then I came up with these cards, and I really like them. They would make a really cute thank you card set. And, you know, some of us, like I have a lot of supplies, but some of us don't have a lot of supplies. So this is a card that's perfect for someone that is just starting out and doesn't have a lot of supplies. And it's perfect for us who need a quick card. I mean, this is a great quick thank you card. And I don't think anyone receiving this would go, oh, wow, she just like whipped that out real quick, and she didn't put much thought into it. It's pretty, you know? So just a thought of how you can, you know, keep things a little bit more simple. So if you're participating in this challenge today, you might just want to keep your layout simple. You could, instead of a rectangle, you could use a circle here, an oval, or a different shape to, you know, make it a little bit dressy. You can choose whatever ribbon you want, but I think it's a perfectly acceptable just to kind of keep it simple this time. All right, I don't think anyone will have any questions for me because this is like so simple, but I'm scrolling up real quick before I sit down and chat with you a little bit more. Welcome to everyone that joined me this morning. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it because, oh, here we go. Because it would be really sad if I were here all by myself. But I know some of you, if you're watching this on YouTube, then this is not live, and it is a recording, but you are still welcome to comment, and I get back to comments, and if you have any questions, just let me know. I try and get those answered if I get notified. Sometimes email lets me down and I don't get notified. So if I ever don't answer your question, it's probably because I got busy or I didn't get a notification. So I try really hard to answer everyone's emails and questions and comments and all of that. So yeah, so today, crazy day. We have onstage registration in about half an hour. So if you are a demonstrator and you're watching this and you want to go to Orlando, Silver Elites and above get to register in less than half an hour. And then if you are less than a Silver Elite, not less than, but if you have a title that is bronze, elite, or silver, then you can register in about an hour and a half. So just make sure you set your alarm for that because you don't want to miss out. It's the 30th anniversary. I was at the 25th anniversary and it was fabulous. It was my, I want to say it was my first big event. It was wonderful. I was so excited to be there, and I met so many people, and some of those people that I met there, I'm still friends with 5 years later. So I think that's really cool. It says a lot about the stamping community in general, that we're there, you know, it doesn't matter what walk of life you come from, you know, maybe even what country you come from, or even your political views or your religious views. When you get in front of people and you put stamps and paper and stuff, we have like a common ground, and we can sit there and we can talk to each other, and it's wonderful, and we become friends, and it's a great community. So I hope to see you there if you are a demonstrator, and if not, if you are a customer. The good thing about having these on-stage events is a lot of excitement and energy comes out of it, and then usually we are allowed to, a few days later, we're allowed to post our photos from the event, and you get to see samples and stuff like that. So it's kind of fun for you guys too to see the rest of it all. The one other thing I want to talk to you about today is I have my BOGO sale starting tomorrow, and I am getting all prepped for that right now. I am pulling stuff out of storage, and I'm getting it all ready. It's an online sale, so if you're anywhere in the US, you can definitely participate in that. So just go to my blog. It starts on the 15th. I think I'm going to have it up around noonish. So, all right, guys, have a great day, and I hope you can join us and show us one of your Casing Tuesday cards. If you're interested in joining our group, just look in the description of this video and click on the link to join our group. If you want to know what supplies I use, what colors, my measurements, or anything like that, there is a link to my blog post in the description as well. Just click on that and it will take you there right now. I have a supply list at the bottom of my blog post with all the things that I used today. So, okay, guys, have a great week, and I will be back again next week to share another card with you. Take care. Bye-bye.